Good morning, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Oh boy, I am so incredibly excited today to talk about resonance and how we use resonance to heal ourselves. And so, first of all, I want to talk about what is resonance? What does that mean, really? So resonance is when something makes sense to you, when something flows with you, right? So when you say, does that resonate with you? Does that make sense to you, right? That's kind of like what it means. And we all have our own frequency. And from this frequency, we can move upwards or downwards. So, upwards when we're uplifted, happy, excited, joyful, positive thinking. And when we are sad, depressed, experiencing sorrow or any difficulties, then our frequency goes down. Notice how my voice itself just went up and down just by describing these two different ways of leaning into the energy, right? It just happens naturally. You even talk about it because each word also has a frequency. So when you speak about joy and love and happiness, your voice um, and your energy immediately just goes up just by using these words. And when you start talking about sadness and sorrow and difficult times, your tone, notice my tone is going down. I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. It's just happening. It goes down. And because the words that we use to describe these feelings have a frequency that match that which we are talking about. This is why when you are feeling down, positive reinforcement, positive affirmations, and just talking and saying the words of the things that you want to achieve or the things that you want to have lifts you up. They lift you up because the words have that higher frequency. And so just by saying them, you are engulfing yourself in this higher frequency, right? Especially if you're speaking them out loud. You speak them out loud, you hear them come out of your mouth. They surround the space, the room that you are in. You hear your own voice saying these words, and it resonates with your being. And then you get lifted up, right? You feel yourself lifting up and getting to a higher place. So, when we are wanting to raise our energy so that we can heal, you want to use words, positive affirmations, people, and things that make you feel light, right? So, laughing is the highest frequency. And the fastest way to change your mood, to change your frequency. Of course, when we are in the middle of something that's really difficult in our lives, it's really difficult to laugh sometimes, right? It really is. Like if you're really into this big depression of something that's going terribly wrong for you, um, and you are not able to see the light yet, it's really difficult to laugh, right? And this is why you have the romantic comedies or the comedians and all kind, and or seeing kids be silly as they're playing, right? Those little things that you can watch might bring you a little bit of a smirk perhaps, and then maybe a little laughter, and you want to um, link yourself to that so that you can come out of the low frequency, because truly anything and everything, and I know this is going to sound really out there, but anything and everything can be healed with the highest frequency there is, which is the frequency of love. This is how all the miracles happen. You become attuned and connected with the frequency of love, and in that frequency, there is no pain, there's no judgment, there's really nothing that is low frequency, and all of the ailments that you may be feeling dissolve, they go away. Um, you need to not need to you benefit longer by being in that state, in that high frequency for a longer period of time, to release density that is stuck in our dense bodies because you are living in a three-dimensional body. But really, truly, this is how miracles happen. It's the power of love, right? And so, how do we get there? How do we resonate with this? So, I'm going to ask you, you ever gone, maybe having like a really perfectly great day, and you walk into a room, wherever it is, friends, maybe it was colleagues, maybe whatever it is, and as soon as you walk in, you feel this like, whoa, something's going on. I cannot be happy in here because everybody here looks solemn, and you just know without talking to them that something's going on, and you know there's it's not good news. Right? They're either having a fight or something is very sad that they're talking about, and you feel it. So what happens is that you come in, you allow yourself to feel this, and then here's the key: you have a choice to move down to their frequency. We don't want to do that, but this happens a lot. You go down and you lower your frequency so that you can match theirs, so that you can understand and accept and see, perhaps even support or try to support what is going on there, right? But it feels very uncomfortable because low frequencies are uncomfortable most of the time. Instead, what you want to do is come in, realize what's going on, and detach yourself or protect yourself. So, like putting a bubble of protection around you so that you can remain in your frequency, and then at the same time be available for support or to listen. And if it's something that you can not do anything about, or you don't want to be there, let's say there are people fighting and you're like, okay, like getting out of here, this is, I don't want to get into that. Then you can remove yourself without being touched and without having your frequency go down. On the other hand, if it is something that you can help, and you feel that you want to get involved in this, then, but just by being there in your high frequency, you hold on to your frequency, you hold on to what you're feeling, your high frequency of happiness, of joy that you came in with, and you begin to just breathe that frequency out into the room, and the people who are there will begin to feel it, and instantly their energy and frequency will move up. Not if they're like in the middle of like a heated fight, they're not going to be able to receive anything, but they will be able to feel that. And what you want is to have them raise their frequency up to match yours, instead of you lowering your frequency to match theirs, where you cannot be of any help to anyone when you're lowering your frequency. So that's one way of helping. How do you get your frequency higher? I think I just mentioned some of these things, right? So you want to be around, watch things that make you laugh, right? Things that change the way that you're feeling. Also, movement. Movement is so amazing. I remember my first year teaching, it was so extremely difficult. I was in one of the most difficult schools in the area that I was living in. And I was so stressed. There was so much work and there was so much going on, and it was just not a good situation. And after work every day, I would go to the gym and I would get on the treadmill, and I had anger. I had anger inside of me, and I was really like, all of the absorption that I had. Oh, I can't even speak today. All of these energies, these low frequency energies that I was absorbing all throughout the day, from the situations that were happening, from the drama and trauma that my students were bringing to the classroom. All of that, I was absorbing it, and I was just angry, and I just hated everything. I would go on the treadmill and I would start running, um, and I would say words in my head, not like a crazy person, like oh, like punch, and like I just had this like words that were like anger, and it would take me about 20 minutes. So that's a long time to be on the treadmill using physical energy. It would take me about 20 minutes for it to begin to lift, and I would be like, oh, I feel so much better. And then I would continue, to do a little bit more of that running on it, and I would come out, and all of that low frequency energy would have lifted from my body, from my field, and I was perfectly fine and ready to embark on a new day the next day. So movement is a really amazing way of um, moving and shifting your energy to a more positive energy that resonates and with who you truly are. I think I did not mention this. We are divine beings of light. We were created with the highest frequency of love. Therefore, we are resonating with the highest frequency of love. That's who we are. And when we are feeling low, when we're feeling upset or depressed, or we don't have the energy, is because our dense body is and our ego are bringing us down there, and so we want to resonate with our soul. This is what I'm talking about. I really think I forgot to mention this important part of what we're trying to resonate with here. um, so moving your body, being in nature, absorbing the things that are beautiful, that you find beautiful, are ways of shifting your energy and resonating with your true inner self, with your divine being, with the pure love that you are. And when you do that, then and you're able to hold that frequency, then things begin to fall off, like physical pains or things that your body is beginning to, or maybe has already created, manifested in some type of disease or ailment, right? So this is where you remove these things from, right? It's the mind and your body, intelligent parts of your own energy can cure anything. And how do you do it? Is when you align yourself with the energy that resonates with your soul. That's the highest energy of love. So this is what you want to do. Now, I have experienced all types of energies throughout my life, because obviously I am living a human life. So there have been times when I have been feeling really low, or really like lost, or really kind of like depressed, and even going out into nature and smelling the air and hugging the trees and watching the lakes or the waters, still do not release this low energy that I have. Like, it will lift my moods, it will lift my energy, certainly, but not to the point that I could feel amazing, right? And what happens is that standing there, going for a walk or slow walk, and just standing there or sitting there watching this, it's great. But really, really, what shakes the energy off your body is movement. So you really do need to engage your body in the movement to release the energy. So either hiking with a little bit more of speed, right? Or running or jumping, or there's like anger exercises where you take a pillow and you just like smash it and hit other furniture to release the anger, right? So it's like all of this movement from the body to help your body release the low frequencies. Just walking around and being there and watching is not going to be enough if you are in a very deep low frequency area and you want to get to the higher one. So watching things, watching kids play and stuff, yeah, that really works. What works better is you playing the game with them. Is you rolling around on the ground with them. Is you rolling on the grass, right? Is you being silly and doing the things that you're like thinking, oh my gosh, like this, like people are going to think I'm crazy, right? Why would they think that? Because you're an adult rolling on the grass. It's not looked at the same as a 5-year-old rolling around in the grass, right? So having all of those thoughts of like, oh, I'm going to be judged, right? And it's not really, but when you do it, you feel so silly that you begin to laugh, like, ha ha ha, this is so funny, right? Okay, maybe not like that, but I just saw myself rolling around in the grass and feeling the joy that that would bring for me. Can't do it right now because it's raining, and I would be completely full covered in mud if I did that outside. Anyway, um, I'm just pausing here because I had this thought last night that I should take a mud bath today, and I just talked about mud right now. So, not a coincidence. Probably something that would be really beneficial to me. So, anyway, resonance. We want to resonate with the things that are higher frequency, that resonate with our soul, our purest being of who we are. When you are seeking help, let's say from a healer or from somebody else who's helping you, could be a doctor, could be a friend that you want to talk to, right? You need to resonate with that person to be able to feel better. If you go to someone and that person is really down and have their own problems and they're really not listening to you, they're not going to help you, right? That's not going to help you at all, because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, now I feel even worse. And actually, I don't feel heard because that person is just telling me about their problems because they have so many. And I don't feel heard, right? That's not going to resonate with you. Someone who is able to listen to you and see you and you feel comfortable talking with them, that resonates with you, then you feel heard, seen, and then you feel like, oh, I can do this, right? And that resonates with you. A healer, if you're talking about a healer, somebody that speaks your language or sees you in the way that you feel comfortable, that you don't come out of that session or that conversation feeling worse about yourself, then it resonates, right? If you're feeling worse about it, then that person is not good for you at that moment, right? And it doesn't mean that the person is not good for you. It's just at that moment, or for that particular issue. You, when things resonate, when you're resonating with someone, you vibrate at the same frequency, and that means that you feel that you are in flow and everything moves nicely. Everything moves fast and nicely and easy, and it feels good. That's what resonating means. So I'm going to give you an example. If you have those tune up forks, like made out of metal, and you vibrate it. Let's say you have two, and you're holding one on the left hand and one on the right hand, and you hit the one on the left hand, and then you just hold them there next to each other. What happens is that the vibrations from the one that you hit, the vibrations begin to move and they begin to expand and expand until it reaches the other fork that you haven't touched, that is just not doing anything. And what happens eventually is that the one that was not moving, with the vibrations or making a noise, begins to vibrate. So that's resonance, right? You have one fork, and the energy from it, the vibrations, makes the other one come up and start doing the same thing, start singing. This is what it's like to be in resonance with someone else or with your own soul. And you're in resonance with your own soul when things are going easy for you and things just happen to flow and you don't have difficulties. This is where you want to be. How to heal yourself with this? There are many ways, but one of the ways, once you release the negative energy or the low frequency energy from your body, what you want to do is hold on to this higher frequency. You can do this with meditations. You can do this by just tuning into your body, running energy through your body until it feels lighter, and then holding on to this. You can do it by imagining a good outcome for something. You can imagine yourself healthy, or imagine yourself wealthy, or imagine yourself without the issues or problems that you may have in the present, and you just begin to imagine yourself in the future with as you want to see yourself. And the more that you put more details into this, more senses, you begin to see yourself in the future. What are you wearing? What do you look like? What are you doing? Then you start bringing in colors. What colors are around you? People around you. Are there any smells? Are you eating something? Can you taste this thing that you're eating in that scene? Are you speaking with someone? Are you having a conversation? What are you telling them? What are they telling you? All of these things add to making that vision real. And when you are creating this vision real of you in the future, without the problems, without the lower frequency, you're imagining yourself like in pure joy and happiness and health and whatever it is that you are wanting in your life, the more it becomes real. And the more time that you spend on this, let's say you spend 5 minutes a day in this space, just creating and recreating and feeling and seeing and all of those things, the faster you make that real, and the longer your higher frequency remains in your body. Does that make sense? Let me know how that feels for you. Let me know if this is making sense. But it's all about the visualization. And I'm not saying to like lay in bed and visualize for, 3, 4 hours a day and not do anything else. You don't want to just do the visualizations. You actually want to move your body as well. But it really, really does help, especially at the beginning if you're not feeling so much like you want to move, because I've been there as well. Just want to be in bed and do nothing. This is a way of beginning to shift and move your energy so it can resonate with what you want. Your soul knows what it wants. Your soul knows what it can get. And so when you're feeling down, it's because you are not running at the same frequency. You're not resonating with your true self. You have gone off the path. You have a path of going and having a beautiful, successful, healthy life, and you have chosen to take different paths to learn different things, all perfectly well. But if you're having a really difficult time and you want to move it faster, you begin to visualize what it is that you want and lift and bring your frequency up to resonate with that part of you so that you can create it faster, bring it into your reality sooner, and you will feel a shift. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. It's all a state of being, state of mind. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to have the things, right? Do we want the things? Yes, of course we want them. Is there anything wrong with them? No, there's nothing wrong with it. But how do you get to that? Is by appreciating what you have in the moment. And so, and I'm getting a flashback of like, whoa, it's like, I'm going to have to say some maybe 30 years ago. I was driving, no, I was riding in a car. My father was driving the car. And we're going through this busy street, and I saw these two Spanish men walking, and it was a hot day. And they were walking, they had like their tank tops on, and they had their hands full of bags, grocery bags. They were coming back from shopping for groceries. And it was so hot and humid, and you could see their skin was just glowing and dewy from the humidity and from being hot. And they were carrying these really heavy bags, but they were both having such a good time. And I just saw them for like a second, right? As the car was driving by, I saw them, and it just stayed in my mind like this picture of them. They both had these smiles. You know when people smile with their eyes and you can just tell, right? And they had these smiles with the eyes, with their mouths, and there's like on their face, and they were just having such a great time. Um, Walking and doing this part of life together. And it was such a great moment, right? And I'm not saying that they had or they didn't have things, because I really don't know. But it's what you see and do in the moment, right? Because I, for one, really do not like humidity, and I like my air condition. And so, um, looking at them from my point of view, especially back then, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like a not a good thing that I would want to be doing, walking around in a humid, hot day, carrying heavy bags. That's not something I want. But they were doing it, and they were having fun because they were so immersed in the moment. This is what it like, that's how it stayed. And I mean, it's been 30 years at least, I would have to say. And that vision is still so vibrant in my mind as to accepting and enjoying and being grateful for what you have right now. They were in a very high frequency vibe, so high that it touched me as I was riding in the car, and they were like at least a block away, meaning, like just walking by, and I just passed them by and they touched me. You see, when you are vibrating at a really high frequency, you are touching and helping people that you don't even know you're doing. You don't even know how many people you're reaching, how many people you are helping just by being you and living on a high frequency level that's resonating with your soul. And the reason it's so quick and so potent and so far, it can reach so far away, is because we are all one. So realizing that by bringing your frequency higher, you're actually helping so many because they're part of you. This is how you help. And this is how you get rid of your ailments and your anything that you want to get rid of, right? Your issues, your human issues. You want to raise your frequency to touch others positively. And do not doubt that what you're doing when you're doing the work on your own, by yourself, for yourself, that is not helping and touching others, because it does. Okay, so wow, had no idea I was going there today with this message, but Spirit um, delivers every time. How does it get any better than this? I love you so much, and have a great weekend. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.